Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TomTalks podcast. It's me, your boy, Tom. We're back at it again, once again. So I know it's the week before. This isn't the Super Bowl this weekend, but next week will be the Super Bowl. So we're going to go over a couple of headlines. We're going to recap the games and go over a couple of headlines that happened throughout the week. This will probably be a pretty short episode. The NFC Championship game. My Philadelphia Eagles, Bird Gang, go Birds. We won 31-7. Honestly, I did not see the score happening. I was confident that we were going to win this game. But as soon as there's a lot of controversial plays that happened, including the very early Devontae Smith catch that Coach Kyle Shanahan didn't challenge right away. We got a play right away. As soon as that play ended, they confirmed that it wasn't a catch, but it didn't matter because we snapped the ball before they could even really look at it. So that's probably one of the biggest plays. Another big play was my guy Hassan Reddick, who's probably a favorite to be the MVP of the Super Bowl, but we'll go to the Super Bowl in a little bit. But Hassan Reddick has been killing it this game. I think he got 2 sacks. He injured Purdy's elbow, unfortunately. He tore his UCL. I know he didn't do it on purpose, but it still happened. And he was just a force to be reckoned with the entire game. The only thing the 49ers were able to do is run the football. And Josh Johnson has shown in this game why he's only been a career backup. He's barely seen any playing time in the NFL. He's been 10 teams in 15 seasons or something like that, or whatever that number was. But yeah, he got concussed, and Brock Purdy couldn't throw the football. So I know there are a lot of haters out there saying, "Oh, we didn't play anybody. We didn't fucking play any real teams." We ran all over the best defense in the NFL. So I'm very confident that we're going to do the same thing against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm very confident. And I don't care what these haters say. They're wrong, they're irrelevant, so they don't matter. And the Bengals and Chiefs game, I thought the Bengals were going to win this game, but I was wrong. Chiefs, they finally beat Cincinnati now. Now it's called a real rivalry. And I missed about the first quarter of the game because I was in my town celebrating. People were outside. They were driving by, honking horns, playing music. It was a wild time. If you want to check that, it's on my Instagram page. I can probably put a link in that in the description. But yeah, Chiefs, they held the Bengals offense. Their defense did a pretty solid job. Actually, I believe they got 2 picks on Joe Burrow and they sacked him 4 times. So the defense did its job just enough to stop Cincinnati's offense, and the unfortunate end of the game where Sky Moore got a very nice punt return about 20-something yards, and then unfortunately one of the Bengals players got a roughing the passer call on Patrick Mahomes. Although it was the correct call because he was 2 feet out of bounds already, and he pushed him out. So that put them in a field goal range, and that led the Chiefs to kick the game-winning field goal at the end of regulation. So Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Well, I'll be going over that next week, the next Friday or next Saturday, right before the game. And I'll try to have some people on during that. So let's look at some of the hires that have been happening throughout the NFL offseason, during these NFL playoffs before the Super Bowl. So yeah, so I didn't hear about this one. The Cardinals general manager, the new GM is Monty Ossenfort. Apparently he's from the Titans. He was Titans player personnel. That I did not know. I don't know anything about Monty Ossenfort. So I'm intrigued to see who they're going to hire as their head coach. The Cardinals are one of two teams who haven't hired a coach yet. We're going to go over that in a little bit. So I'm curious to see who they're searching for, who they're looking at as a head coach. Atlanta Falcons hired Ryan Nielsen as defensive coordinator. That happened to the Saints, so He was in New Orleans. Oh, that's good. Still away from the division rival. Sorry, they stole away from the division rival, and the Saints had a pretty good. They had a not pretty good, like a really good defense. I think either in the top 10 or near the top 10 for most of the season. So that should help Atlanta's defense improve. But Atlanta still needs a lot of help all over the place. They need a quarterback. They need an offensive line. They need a couple more weapons, and we'll see. And then we'll see if Atlanta can win the crappy NFC South. Oh, that's what I wanted to look up. Hold on. Oh, hold on. All right, fuck. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We're going live. Let's see. Can we search news? Yeah, let's just do this. And Tom Brady's officially retired at the NFL, but we'll go over that in a little bit. So, the Carolina Panthers have hired Frank Reich. He was fired as the Colts head coach last season, and they didn't hire Steve Wilkes, which I thought would have been a really good. But I thought that would have been the right move for them. But Frank Reich is an offensive coach. He's gonna draft his quarterback, and I think they're gonna be pretty decent. If they get one of the top guys like Will Levis or C.J. Stroud or whoever's left on the board in this year's draft, I think the Panthers will be probably in the best position in the NFC South. Although the Saints do have Jameis Winston, they still might be the team to beat in the NFC South, even though the Panthers beat them twice. But we'll see. We'll talk more about that division in the division predictions, all that a little later. So apparently Jim Schwartz is going to be the defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns, I find that really funny because he retired after 2020 from the Eagles. He said he was retiring, but he went to the Titans. I believe he was just like a observer, like defensive observer. I don't know what the term is. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't like a coach. I guess he was like an assistant or something. I don't remember what his role was in Tennessee, but they hired him back from Cleveland. Hired Jim Schwartz as their defensive coordinator again. So that's a good move for Cleveland. Jim Schwartz is a very good defensive coordinator. Denver. Here's the two biggest head coaching hires. The Denver Broncos. They chose Sean Payton as their head coach. They just hired recently, so they agreed to trade a first-round pick for him. And now he is officially the head coach of the Denver Broncos. I'm curious to see what his role is with Russell Wilson, like how he's going to fix Russell, quote-unquote, fix Russell Wilson. But a lot of people, from what I've seen, like I forget who sent out a tweet, but someone said that according to like people in the NFL, like around NFL circles, that Nathaniel Hackett wasn't the problem in Denver. Even though he had the bad rep. Unfortunately, he got the bad rep, but that's why he got hired as the Jets offensive coordinator, which we're going to go over in a little bit soon. But it seems like it wasn't really his fault. It seems like it was more so on Russell Wilson in the offense. But I don't know. He was the one, he called plays originally, then he handed down plays to the offensive coordinator. So I don't know. Both things can be true. I guess Nathaniel Hackett didn't get a fair shake in Denver. And it was very obvious that Russell Wilson played very bad. So I guess most of the blame is on Russell Wilson. There are a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's too involved. He's like not involved with the team enough. He has his own office. Like he's focused on being more of a celebrity diva than an NFL player." I don't know all the stories that goes on in Denver, but I think Sean Payton can absolutely turn him around this year. He's going to say, "Hey, get your head out of your fucking ass, and we're gonna fucking play some. We're gonna make you play some good fucking football." But the Broncos also need a lot of help on the. Excuse me. They also need a lot of help on the offensive line. Their offensive line was not that good last year, and they also had a lot of players hurt as well. The running back I forget his name off the top of my head, but was it not Williams? I don't remember his name, but. Yeah, the running back got hurt, so he tore his ACLs out for the rest of the year. Not Latavius Murray, it was somebody else. I can't remember. Someone young, but whatever. So maybe Sean Payton can help turn things around in Denver. Houston Texans. This is the one that we've all been watching. Who are they going to hire? Because they fired 2 head coaches within 2 years. They didn't give any of them a chance. And now they hired D'Amico Ryans, a player that they drafted when he was a player in the NFL. So I'm very curious to see how long D'Amico Ryans is going to get to be an NFL head coach, and how long and how much time, and who he's going to pick as quarterback, offensive coordinator. The staff has not been hired yet, according from what I've seen yet. So I really hope D'Amico Ryans does well. Worst team in the NFL, or one of the worst teams in the NFL, and I don't think they're going to be in first place right away. Not like the Jags, because Doug Peterson was a veteran head coach. Trevor Lawrence was already like not a very good. He wasn't a good quarterback his rookie year, but he helped turn Trevor Lawrence around his second year. They got weapons for him. They improved the offensive line. So the Jaguars actually did things last year to actually improve their roster. That's what the Texans need to do first. They need to improve their roster. They have a lot of draft capital, and maybe that's going to be maybe Houston might be a destination now, because it seems like San Francisco loved playing, like the defensive players love playing for D'Amico Ryans. So maybe that'll rub off on them. Maybe people will come to Houston. Maybe there'll be a destination spot. Who knows? But we'll see what happens in there. We'll see what happens with the GM. We'll see. I think they have the GM, but we'll see what happens with the draft. So Houston, I wish Houston good luck. Both the LA teams hired new offensive coordinators. Kellen Moore went to the LA Chargers. That should be a really big move for Justin Herbert. Kellen Moore has led the Cowboys offense to in the top 3 each year. He's been the offensive coordinator. And I believe they let him go only because they just need a new regime. McCarthy needed a new regime change, and I thought McCarthy was going to get fired, but I guess not. I guess he's still staying on, but I'm curious to see what the Cowboys do in the offseason for their offensive coordinator. I haven't heard anything yet, so. And Mike LaFleur, who was with the Jets, is now the new Rams offensive coordinator. So this will be curious. This will be a curious hire to see. So maybe Mike LaFleur will be a new head coach within the next couple of years if he does a good job in LA, which it seems like a lot of Sean McVay's protege, like Sean McVay coordinators, have either been previous head coaches or looking to be soon to be good head coaching hires. So we'll see what happens with Mike LaFleur there. Probably not a lot is going to change. The Dolphins hired Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator. He's arguably the best, if not the best defensive coordinators in football. So Miami's defense was right near the bottom of almost every category, yet somehow made the playoffs. So this will be a very good balance for the Dolphins, because they had a very high-powered offense, even though Mike McDaniel is a very young head coach, play calling, but it all depends on Tua's health. If Tua can stay healthy and not be in concussion protocol, which he just got out of recently apparently, then I think the Dolphins will be just fine. And Vic Fangio will take over the defense, and I think they will make some big plays on the defensive side of the ball, because they got ballers on that defensive side. They got Christian Wilkins, they got Bradley Chubb, they got Xavier Howard, a couple other great players on the defensive side of the ball. So Miami might be a team to watch out for to make a better move next year. And look at this. The Patriots hired Bill O'Brien back in the offensive coordinator to be the offensive coordinator again. He was the Texans head coach. He's with Houston as their head coach. I believe he went back to Alabama this past season. He was in Alabama. And he was with the Patriots before from 2009 to 2011. So we'll see if Bill O'Brien can turn around Mac Jones in that terrible, god-awful New England offense, which came in third in the division last year. Jets hired Nathaniel Hackett, as I previously stated when I was talking about the Broncos. So we'll see what now they got that out of the way. The question is what they're going to do with quarterback. Because apparently people in that building do not like Zach Wilson. People love Mike White. But they're going to go after a veteran. I think they should go after Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo. But there are rumors flying around that they're going to put up a lot of draft picks for Aaron Rodgers, which Honestly, I think that'd be an interesting move. Aaron Rodgers on the New York Jets. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but But I can't see Aaron Rodgers in Jet Green. That'd be crazy. I mean, Brett Favre did it. Brett Favre played for the Packers for a long time. Then he went to the Jets, and then he went to the Vikings. So that might be the same trend. So Aaron Rodgers might be a New York Jet. We don't know what. We know he's still doing his thing. He played some golf today. He's chilling out. He's doing his thing, and he's probably gonna have a decision soon. So he might. Who knows what will happen? He might retire. He might play again with Green Bay. He might get traded. Who knows? Curious to see what happens though. And last but not least for hires, Titans hired Rand Carthen? Who is Rand Carthen? He is. Oh, he's with the 49ers player personnel. So they had some good players come through San Fran. Maybe he can help Tennessee actually draft and keep some good players. So let's see. The Cardinals. They have interviewed a lot of people. Wow. Let's see. They interviewed D'Amico Ryan's hired by Texans, Frank Reich with the Panthers, Dan Quinn, Sean Payton. All of them are hired they're all hired with their new teams, and Dan Quinn's staying with Dallas. Something's up with that, though. Mike Kafka completed Vance Joseph, Aaron Glenn, Brian Flores, Ejiro Evera. Oh, he's the Broncos defensive coordinator. He's going to do it. Brian Callahan and Lou Anarumo. So both the Bengals offensive defensive coordinator. Interesting. So it looks like they haven't made a decision yet. They requested a bunch of coaches. Ravens made some requests. So head coach, they got their guy. So Jim Bob Cooter, Deuce Staley, he's probably on that. I think he's on that staff now. I read. All right, so that seems to be it for hiring. And now the other big news is that Tom Brady, he says he's officially done. He's officially retired from the NFL. He says for good, according to his Twitter account. He says that he's done. He retired for good. So we'll see what happens with this. So let's go to his Twitter account. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I have time to see his own movie. Let's see Let's see what happens. So, Andy Yeager, I don't believe you. Andrew Whitworth, congratulate on Dextero. A lot of people. A lot of people either don't believe him or they're saying congratulations. So we'll see what happens with that. Right now, I'm a little skeptical about Tom Brady retiring. I don't know. It's not that I don't believe that he's done for good. It's just I don't. He did this last year on this exact day. He said, "Oh, I'm retiring from football." Then he came back a little more than a month later. So let's find out. Let's wait until March or April to see if he actually didn't come back. But if it is true he's done retiring, congratulations, Tom Brady. You've had one hell of a career. You're one hell of a competitor. You are one of the best, arguably the greatest football player to ever step on the field. I want to say one of the top 5 greatest football players ever. One of the most winning quarterback, the greatest champion, greatest competitor. Everyone's got stories on you for years. I can't wait to hear all the more stories that come out about Tom Brady and how competitive he was, how great he is, all the ass kissing that's going on. I know I'm an Eagles fan. I'm supposed to hate Tom Brady, but I respect the living shit out of him. Obviously, I hated him when he was in New England. He took away one of the Super Bowls the Eagles could have won in 2004, but we beat that ass in 2017. So thanks for Super Bowl 52, Tom. But thank you for your contribution to the NFL, and congratulations. Enjoy retirement. I know you're not going to take a suggestion from a stooge like me, but what I suggest you should do is just take a fucking month-long vacation. Just get away from everybody and everything. And then, I know you got your movie coming out. I think it's out now. I think it's out this weekend, so that's probably what he's doing. One of his tweets said he's going to see his movie 4 times. Let's see what it said. On a lot with the boys. So for the movie, now that I'm retired, I've time to go see 80 for Birdie 4 separate times today. Let's see. People say da 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 da. So congratulations, Tom. If it is true that you're actually done, you've had a hell of a career. And now, but one last thing before we go, another big story that involved the Eagles. I probably should have talked about this right after the championship, the NFC title championship talk. See what this fucking bum Julian Love said. This fucking bum Julian Love, who got his ass kicked by the Philadelphia Eagles twice, lost to him all 3 times that he faced them, has this bullshit to say. Let's go full screen. Let's see what this fucking bum has to say.
You know, he's a guy who really is doing a good job because he's not getting in the way of his team. He has an experienced roster from top to bottom, offense, defense.
You see this stuff, though? Like, what's your reaction as a player? And that guy's doing that.
I don't like it. I don't like
it. Oh, like it. Yeah.
He's in for a free ride right now. You guys can coach this team, and they can succeed. That's how.
There's your fucking headline. Oh, you guys can coach this team. Julian Love, go fuck yourself. You're a fucking bum. Sit your ass on that fucking couch and watch the Eagles win the goddamn Super Bowl. Shut the fuck up. That's how I'm ending this video. Fuck you, Julian Love. You're a fucking